Hello, everybody. Let's see who we got in the chat here. Good evening, Lisa from the Bronx in New York. And hello, Ian. What's up? Okay, let's let me make sure I get this going properly here with a watch party, and we'll get started here. Give me just one moment. Need to make sure I got the volume down on these devices. Okay. All right, there's one down, one to go. How is everybody? Go ahead and put in the comment thread. And if you want to do a watch party, now would be the time to get that started because the presentation will begin here in just a couple of minutes. But if you want to do a watch party, go ahead and right below the video, you hit the start. You can do a watch party and share this presentation on your personal Facebook page. Let's see here. I just did that on my personal Facebook page. So we're now live, and hopefully I will be able to see some of the comments as we go, but please go ahead and chime in, post where you're watching from. I know we have people chiming in from all around the world this evening. It's almost 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is where I'm located in Arizona. So if you're on the Zoom or Facebook Live today, please let us know where you're watching from. In the meantime, I'm going to play just a short video here with you guys. Share just a little video. It might be kind of fun. Let's see if this works good. Share screen. Here we go. View full screen. Let's see.
Jamaica. A ver. Vámonos.
I just got an idea.
Yeah, we do have a couple of commercials that we have to get in, since before we get started here, and that was one of them. So I think that we have another commercial ready, getting ready to that we need to air here as well, and here it is, and then we can get started. Okay. Well, I certainly like what the song was saying. Get out of debt. Please let me know in the chat. Make sure that you can see me and that you can hear me. Coffee Man in the house from Detroit. Coffee Man, what's up? Edgar, Mr. Lohman, and Angel here on Zoom. I can see some of the people Zoom comments here, but the Facebook comments, let's see. What's up, Shauna, Frank? I see you guys there. Lori. Well, welcome. We'll go ahead and get started. I have 6:02 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And my name is Tommy Johnson, and I'm coming at you guys here from Surprise, Arizona. That's actually the name of the city that we live in. Surprise, welcome from Lebanon. Wow, Lebanon, Tennessee. I'm not gonna risk. Last name Wells. The first name I don't want to butcher it. So Laura from South Carolina, welcome. Let's see, everything is good. We can see you and hear you loud and clear. Thank you. And thank you. Greetings from Atlanta, Georgia. There's a big meeting that takes place tomorrow in Atlanta, Georgia. We have some great people that will be attending that meeting. And believe it or not, people will, still get out and meet with people. And I have some few short-sighted people that, really made some comments. What are we going to do? One of our main services is travel. And I just think, holy cow. I mean, the airlines are not shutting down. The hotels are not going to close their doors. People may not travel as much today, but tomorrow they will be traveling again. It's a huge industry. And that's just one portion of what our business is. And you're going to see that as we move forward. A little bit about me. And primarily tonight, my job tonight is just to stimulate your imagination and just to pique your interest. Consider this a first date. Why do people go on a first date? To determine if they want to go on a second date. So, we're tailoring this tonight to the people that are checking this out for the first time. And maybe, I think it's a great time. It's always a great time to build a home-based business. And when I got into the industry, my wife, Lindsay, and I got into this business model almost 18 years ago. And we had a lot of people telling us those things don't work, that doesn't work. In fact, I was one of those people that was telling my mom, those don't work. She got into one of those things. And I am on record telling her, don't waste your time. And they don't work. You have to be at the top. You have to be at the beginning. All of the things that we've heard other people say that really don't understand or really have, I didn't have a leg to stand on. I didn't know what I was talking about. And I was trying to talk my own mom out of something, a vehicle that ended up not only getting her out of a situation where she had 6 figures of debt. And, it helped she became a multimillionaire with that business that I spent 4 months trying to talk her out of. And what we don't hear from our children enough is, our parents were right and maybe we were wrong. And in this case, my mom was certainly right and I was wrong. So there you go, Mom. You were right. I was wrong. Thank goodness that she didn't listen to me and let me talk her out of it. But I'm here on Friday the 13th to tell you that I'm going to scream from the rooftops that it's perfectly fine to build a business from the comfort of your own home. And here, we don't have to leave if we don't want to. We've been able to attend all of our children's events, whatever it is that they have a passion for. Our daughter loves to sing and perform and dance, and she's great at it. And we don't miss an event. Our son loves to play basketball. In fact, he has a scholarship to play basketball for a 4-year university here in Arizona. He redshirted his freshman year. He'll be going into his sophomore year and his first year of playing for this college this next season. And we don't miss a game. We don't miss a tournament. We don't miss a week-long camp anywhere in the country. Our home away from home for the last 12 years or so has been the basketball court. It really has. And we've been able to do that because this business can be built from anywhere. And what you're going to hear tonight is just different. And we use that hashtag, just different, but it's just way different. It's an understatement. What you're going to hear about tonight is there's nothing to compare it to. So a lot of home-based businesses that we've been familiar with over the years, don't make the mistake of lumping them all together and assuming they're the same, because there's nothing to compare this company that we call iBoomerang to. It would be like comparing the internet to something. In fact, my wife and I were with that first company for almost 15 years. And one day we decided we had enough. We didn't feel like we could help people any longer, and a business is built on just that. So we moved on. We left on great terms. We never had a compliance issue, but we were fortunate enough to earn millions of dollars with that experience. And we bought a bunch of real estate that we continue to manage here in Arizona. In fact, the closest one is right out my window here. That house right there is one of our rental properties that we bought at the first quarter of 2012. With the income that we earn from these businesses that people say don't work. And, one of many, by the way. And I don't tell you that to brag. I only share that to express upon everyone that this works, and they're not created the same. There's dramatic differences in the doability and the sustainability. So listen carefully as I go through some slides here in just a moment that could change your life, and do so in short order. So don't listen to the me's who try to say that those doesn't work, because what we're doing right now is working, and it's working on a huge scale, and it can work for you, and it could make a dramatic difference in short order. So again, I'm going to scream from the rooftop tonight. It's perfectly fine to start a business from the comfort of your own home. And if you decide to join what we're doing, we're going to help you do it. We have a system in place that's essentially paint by numbers. And so it's too costly to make your own mistakes. When you have a team of people, like the people running this company, and the great leadership that's already part of this 1-year-old company, as of March 11th, 2020, 2 days ago, we became a 1-year-old company. So all of the people out there hoping this wouldn't work, sorry to tell you, we're passing all the tests, and we're doing so with flying colors, and we're breaking records along the way. And so we're having a lot of fun. And I like to point that out, that's very important. Welcome, Raymond from Jacksonville, Florida. I'll be there with my team. Christina, yeah, fantastic. And you'll be at the event tomorrow in Atlanta, Georgia. Doug down in Mississippi, what's up from your LG smartphone? And everybody else that's message ringing in here or commenting. Thank you. I appreciate it. And please, on Facebook, comment as well. Let us know where you're from, where you're watching from. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. And I want to make sure that I get through these slides effectively tonight. I have a tendency to get excited and not quite get through my entire presentation. That's not going to happen tonight. So please let me know in the comments that you can see this PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to go ahead and make it full screen. View full screen. Please let me know if you can see this, and I'll look over here in my comments. See more. Hello, Rita. What's up? How are you? That's on my. Okay. iBoomerang. The name of our company is iBoomerang. What happens if you throw out a boomerang? You expect for it to come back, right? It comes back. Well, this company was built on the idea of giving and sharing, and you throw out goodwill and it comes back. You throw out, in our case, you'll see other certain things, and what comes back is something that can help you get out of debt. As the song said at the beginning here. Let's see. First, I need to throw out a disclaimer. We make no claims. I don't know if you're going to succeed with this. I know that we're succeeding with it, and I know that a lot of people are having success with it. The company makes no claims. I make no claims as to what you can expect to see happen. We make no guarantees about your ability to get results or earn any money with the program, and or our information or the tools or strategies that we're going to discuss tonight. However, I will tell you this, that you're half of the equation if you decide you want to participate in iBoomerang with us, will be to be coachable. And what a mentor shared with me many years ago was, my half of the equation was to be coachable and to treat this like a real business. Sometimes the lack of investment, the lack of risk, prevents some people from realizing the upside economic potential that's available to you with this. So we make no claims. We cannot. I don't know how coachable you are or how consistent you might be, but I do know that my cat is trying to get out of the office, and she's probably not going to leave me alone until I go do that here in just a minute. But anyways, it's time for network marketing to evolve. It totally is. Here's an industry, it's like BlackBerry. BlackBerry was great for a while, but then they were stuck. An iPhone came along and just wiped them out. Look at Blockbuster. They got Netflixed, and so many other industries. You can watch this happen. An industry needs to evolve. Network marketing has been stuck in what we call the taxi cab industry, where it's the same thing. It's been the same thing. In fact, so redundant, and it's been very difficult to build as a result that it just hasn't evolved over the last 60 plus years. But it is time, and until now, it has been the same. But with what we're doing right here, it is completely changing. Hold on, I've got to get this cat out of here, otherwise she is going to drive me crazy. So, come on, kitty. Home-based business. Go on. Okay. Lucy's out. That's Lucy, by the way. Okay. And it starts with giving our customers a first-class consumer experience. Now, we're a brand new company, and where we're heading, and our CEO has a plan in place to deliver a first-class consumer experience to our customers. What happens when people have a first-class customer experience? They come back. I've been treated pretty well at Starbucks. I've been treated pretty well at Apple over the years. Zappos has an amazing human resource philosophy, and you're seeing that come to light. We've put the people in place, and we continue to put the right people in place to deliver a first-class consumer experience to our customers. It starts with that. Our customers need to have a first-class experience, and when that happens, we earn their trust, and they come back and they use our different technologies, our different services that you'll see come to our ecosystem over the course of time. And we'll touch on a couple of them tonight as I move through these slides. And so it's also success without selling for ambassadors. Ambassador is what the term we use for our distributors or our independent contractors. We're 1099 independent contractors as ambassadors with iBoomerang. But historically, in order to succeed in this industry, a lot of people say, I don't like to sell. I'm not good at sales. In fact, I had somebody share that with me just today. So I'm not good at sales. I don't like to sell. And I always find that a little bit interesting. If we're married, we've sold something to somebody. If we're single, we're selling lots of things to lots of people. If we have children, boy, we better learn to sell. But regardless, here we have success without selling whatsoever. We have nothing to sell. Now, you'll understand that more here in a few minutes. We're taking the network marketing industry from the taxi cab era, where customers pay more and only the strong recruiters win, which is really, and I've always said in this profession, recruiting is a highly paid skill, but it's also been a mandatory skill if you want to succeed on a significant level. If you want to have great success and really build something significant for your family, you better get good at becoming a recruiter. Not anymore. You don't have to recruit anybody to win. In fact, there's somebody watching this, a young man, very professional, named Ian from in Florida, who's on ground zero right now with what's going on with at the hospitals. He's a head nurse and oversees a whole staff. And in fact, the first he's dealing with a lot. But he made the comment that he's never been a strong recruiter, been around the industry for 15 years, and but he put in, he's building a successful business with this, and he hadn't recruited a single person until just recently. So here he's winning, and he wasn't even recruiting anybody, nor was he selling anything. Keep that in mind. We're now moving into the modern era with iBoomerang. We make money only when our customers save money. Now, historically, in order to make money from customers, we had to sell something. Our customers had to buy something that maybe they weren't buying otherwise. And they typically had to pay significantly more money than they can go right up the road and get something, maybe the same product or something comparable. Maybe, something that they believe is comparable anyhow, right up the road for a fraction of the cost that they would pay as our customers in network marketing. They could also go onto Amazon in any product company and find same products. In fact, in most cases, our company products where disgruntled ambassadors are selling or pawning off their product for a fraction of the cost that they would have to buy it from us for. It's been difficult to do what business is all about, and that's to get and keep customers. That's the objective in business, is to get and keep customers. The goal is to be profitable. So you only make money in our company when our customers save money. Have you ever heard of that? We're monetizing savings. Think about that. We're monetizing savings. And we have the technology in place, and we're continuing to build out the technology that allows our ambassadors to succeed. So it started with our visionary leader, a guy named Holton Buggs. If you're not familiar with Holton Buggs, look him up, do your diligence. The harder you look, the better it will get. Here's a guy that's the biggest thinker that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. He's also the most successful network marketer in the world. I mean, hands down. Here, look at this track record here. He got into the industry in 1990. He earned less than $500. His greatest month was $500. He never earned more than $500 in a month for his first 7 years. But he said he never looked at how small his team was, because he had 49 people total on his team at its peak in those 7 years. He never looked at how small the group was. He looked at how big the information was. Mr. Buggs is the end product of somebody who's invested in themselves for their entire life, poured into themselves over the last 30 years, specifically through this industry, poured into learning, reading books. I was on a Zoom earlier today with a gentleman who is a doctor in Georgia. He's from Jamaica. He is trying to recall what kind of doctor, but anyhow, he's just a respected doctor, and he knows his stuff. And he said through his diligence, he looked up Holton. He said, wow, I was impressed, to say the least. And one of the things he did was he watched a video where Holton discussed his top 10 books. And he said, just the books that he was recommending told me this guy is the real deal. And the way he was articulating why each book mattered and why he recommends these books that everybody reads. Just that was, he saw that, and he said, I see the big picture. I see what this guy's doing. So in 1997, Holton Buggs developed a formula and a system to achieve rapid success. And did he ever? As a student of this industry, I've been doing this now for about 18 years. I've been a student of Mr. Buggs from afar, unbeknownst to him, for 12 of those years. When I learned of his success, because in 2009, he's had record-breaking earnings and sales in that 10-year window. He earned over $100 million, okay, with one position as an ambassador for a company. He wasn't the owner. He was an ambassador, just like we are with his company, iBoomerang. He helped over 45 people earn at least $1 million, and that's just the people that were part of his organization. My sponsor in this business, he's a seven-figure earner, and he was mentored by Mr. Buggs, and he was cross-lined to him, and he poured into him and helped him be better. And in March of 2019, March 11th to be exact, this company launched iBoomerang. He founded a company which is his gift back to the industry. And my initial thought when I looked at this was, when I heard Mr. Holton Buggs is starting the network marketing company, was, what? Why would he do that? I thought the company wasn't born out of the necessity to make money. That was very intriguing to me. Why? And that got my nose down onto the trail. And having had the luxury of great mentorship over the previous 18 years, and the experience, I've learned how to ask the hard questions in this industry. And I'll tell you, they're not created the same. There's dramatic differences in the doability and the sustainability of the different network marketing opportunities, and they sound the same to the uneducated ear. So don't make the mistake and lump this together, or come into this presentation with a bias and leave that bias on. Remove that hat for a few minutes, because I almost kept that hat on 18 years ago, and it would have cost me the lifestyle that we've created for our family today. It would have created who we were able to become in the process of having the great mentorship along the way, the personal growth, the parents we've been able to become, the friends we've been able to become, the significant others for one another. My wife and I have been able to come through this industry. The growth is the real excitement. The money becomes a byproduct of who you become in the process. I remember hearing that when I got started, and I thought, try me. I just wanted the freedom, that could come along with the personal freedom, the professional freedom. But I'm here to tell you that that's not nearly as exciting as the journey and who you can become in that through the journey. Well, when you're surrounded by people like this leadership team, there's only one possible outcome. If you stick close to the founder and CEO, Mr. Holton Buggs, the Michael Jordan of network marketing, the Bill Gates of this industry, this gentleman who's done things that nobody's even come close to in terms of what he built and the systems he's put in place and what he's been able to figure out, along the way, he's building this company with his own money. That makes a big statement to me. He's surrounding himself with the best people possible. And this leadership team, I would stack them up against any leadership team, not only in this industry, in the history of it, but in any industry, in any line, any field. Let me just briefly talk about each one. We talked about Mr. Buggs. Look him up. Be prepared to be impressed. T. Gray, he's our VP of operations. T. Gray is a gentleman who was mentored by Holton in the field. And he's a seven-figure earner as an ambassador in the company where Holton had a lot of success. He's ran with Holton for years, and then he also went off into the corporate world and has multiple years of seven-figure W-2s. Here's a guy that knows how to win on both sides. His communication skills are excellent. It's the first time I've seen an executive team that can actually teach the field. Go on YouTube, type in any network marketing company. Look for executives that are doing trainings. And if there's a lot of views because the field's watching them and trying to learn how to build the business from the executives, the company's in trouble, unless it's called iBoomerang. Okay. Mark Kithcart, VP of marketing. The reason iBoomerang looks so fantastic, the reason this PowerPoint looks great is not because of me. It's because our VP of marketing, Mark Kithcart. The guy's a hoot. They're a blast. They keep it light. They keep it fun. But Mark Kithcart, just like T. Gray, was mentored by Holton Buggs and a multiple six-figure earner as an ambassador in the field under his tutelage. Okay, but he walked away. He moved his family from Northern California to Texas after one night of considering this opportunity when he was presented the opportunity to come be part of Holton Buggs' vision with iBoomerang. He walked away from a very lucrative position that he had in corporate America. He's been involved with many startups. This guy knows what he's doing. He too is qualified to teach. That's never happened before, okay? That's the brilliance and wisdom of the executive team that Holton Buggs is putting in place. It starts with those two under Holton. They're very impressive. Go to YouTube, type in iBoomerang, type in flight school. Every Saturday morning, there's a training, an hour or 2 hours of just pure gold content coming from the top down, and everybody's singing the same song. There's harmony. On the right at the top, you have David Manning. He is our CEO of Extreme Travel. Extreme Travel is a 19-year-old travel company, the largest in its space. There's three ways to book travel. There's retail, there's wholesale, there's the public aggregator sites, and we'll touch on this more in a minute. And then there's the membership only that a small percentage of the travel population is even familiar with because there's behind the curtain pricing, but it usually costs a lot of money to have access to what we're giving away. And you'll understand that more again in a moment. But one of the reasons why this all came together is because of this gentleman, Mr. David Manning, the CEO of Extreme Travel. Over 19 years, he built a travel company that's the best in its space, that has won all the accolades, and that's they've come together to form iBoomerang. Peter Hirsch on the bottom, he's our Chief Giving Officer. Boy, what a humble position. Here's a guy that's a pastor, that his, he's a builder in the field, and he's a great leader. He's a great friend, but he's also a very well-respected attorney in the MLM space. In fact, probably the most prestigious and well-respected attorney within in the history of the industry. I'm biased, of course, but this is a very smart gentleman. And when I found out on any level that Mr. Bugs had aligned himself with Mr. Peter Hirsch, I got excited. I was familiar with Mr. Hirsch long before. And he and his wife, Karen, are fantastic leaders. And boy, to be able to have Mr. Hirsch as part of this leadership team, it's made that much more special. In the bottom, standing up tall and bold and brave, is our fearless leader, our global master ambassador, Mr. Edwin Haynes. If I could hand pick the best person to be the master distributor or GMA or global master ambassador out of all the people that I've met over my 18-year experience in this industry, the person that I would pick after having worked with him for a few months now would be Edwin Haynes, hands down. He's a phenomenal leader. He's a phenomenal ambassador for the field. He goes to bat for us. He's there for us. He's in the trenches. His work ethic is second to none. He and all of this leadership team's work ethic are second to none. But he is our global master ambassador. He's the first person to earn $1 million with this company. And he is the right guy for the job. He was Holton's a top money earner in the previous company where he was an ambassador and where he set all the records. He earned this position, and I'm here to tell you he's the right guy for the job. Lori Spears, our director of travel, bottom right. Here's somebody who sits on many boards within the travel industry. She speaks all around the world for the travel industry. She holds all kinds of titles within the travel space, and she's ours. She's with iBoomerang. We're aligned with Lori Spears, and what an amazing person to have as a director of travel. She was kind enough to do a call with my mom and I with some regarding some situations, and just listening to the breadth of knowledge that she has. She's so wise, and she knows this space, and she's built relationships, with travel companies and in the travel space all around the world. To be aligned, to have her as part of our leadership team, it just. And there's so many other people that have been put in place, directors and so forth, with our new verticals being launched, our new services come into fruition, and so many other great people that could easily be on this. But in lieu of time, we don't have them all. But they weren't all in place initially. But these seven, the fantastic seven, they were already in place. Okay. All right. Holton put this team together, and he could not have done a better job, in my humble opinion. Okay, how are we going to bring this vision to the world? Well, it starts with what we call a PRIB. If you're not familiar with, go look up perpetual. Look up the word perpetual. Look up the word residual. We all know what income and builder means, but not everybody knows what a perpetual means. And residual means perpetual residual income builder. We'll refer to it as the PRIB. It's trademarked. It's the first of its kind, the PRIB, perpetual residual income builder. What is the PRIB? Okay, that's the opportunity. Okay, a lot of people don't understand it because there's never been one. Okay, what is the PRIB? It's a combination of data analytics, artificial intelligence, and world-class people power. So we're not going to be all hung up in high tech so much that we forget about high touch. Okay, this company is a combination of high tech and high touch, the perfect combination. How can the PRIB support you? The PRIB is to iBoomerang what Siri is to Apple, or what Alexa is to Amazon. And the PRIB is the hub. The PRIB does all the heavy lifting. Remember, the objective of business is to get and keep customers. We gather customers, and we do it very simply using an Uber-like approach. And I'll show you that in the next slide, but next couple of slides. But the PRIB does the part that we're not good at, that we don't like to do, and that's to keep customers. Not only that, but turn them into an appreciating asset for us. Okay, so your customers, it sells for us. It does follow up for us. It upsells for us. It's like the ultimate business partner, and it's silent. It's a silent partner. It works harder for us than we could ever work for ourselves. For our team, it welcomes them. It gives them an orientation. So everybody's being taught the same thing anywhere in the world. It brings the training to them. It brings the system to them. so it doesn't get lost in translation down through your organization, through your team as you build it. It brings the training, it upgrades them. It upgrades them. Think about that. It upgrades them. It upsells them. It brings a greater opportunity to them for you on your behalf. It invites them and brings them to events for you. It gets them to events that you can't get them to, that you don't have to put in the work and the energy to get them to. People that are trained specifically on getting people to events. People that are trained specifically on upgrading them to different packages that offer them a greater opportunity and also put more money in your bank account. It helps keep your people in. It keeps your customers. It keeps your team locked in and focused. Okay. The PRIB does for people what they have struggled to do for themselves in direct sales for 60 plus years until now. Okay. The PRIB is the ultimate business partner. Okay. iGo is the front door. What is iGo? It's the front door to the PRIB. The PRIB is the ecosystem. Front door is iGo. iGo for less. iGo is our booking platform. We already have now over 500,000 customers after 12 months since our doors open. 500,000 customers. Folks, I would be willing to bet that the top 10 network marketing companies in the world don't have 500,000 customers in their first 12 months. And it started with iGo. Here's what iGo is. Travel is an $8 trillion industry. Everybody talks about their product, my product, this product's better than yours. Listen, the economic potential of our businesses is the economic potential of the product or service that we represent. That's the bottom line. Your business can't be any greater than the economic potential of the product or service. Well, show me a bigger product than travel. Maybe today people aren't traveling as much right this moment, but they will be tomorrow. Okay? Trust me. This too shall pass. But this is just one component of our ecosystem. We're not a travel company. Travel to iBoomerang is what burgers are to McDonald's. McDonald's wants us to believe that that's a burger company, right? Well, that's a real estate play. McDonald's is a real estate play. iBoomerang is a digital real estate play. What we're building with iBoomerang is a digital Amazon.com disguised as a travel company. Why travel? Well, it's easy to talk about. People don't have to learn how to sell travel. People don't have to learn how to talk about travel. We all do it whether we like to or not, okay? In good times and bad times, we travel. People are passionate about travel. We don't have to learn the ingredients of travel and learn how to talk about the ingredients. We don't have to hope that we have a personal experience with our travel and then we can go talk about it. We don't have to compete against Amazon. We don't have to learn it. People are already good at doing what our platform iGo does for people. It saves them money. And you'll see that in the following slides. We don't have to learn how to save people money. We just present them with a new opportunity, a new way to do what they're already doing. The people don't have to convince them to travel. They're already doing it. Who cracked the code on how to get and keep customers? Uber did. What is iGo? It's the Uber of travel. We are Uberizing the travel industry. Mr. Bugs figured out a way to Uberize the largest product in the world. Okay. So $8 trillion, nothing even come close. Look at the numbers. Asia, $6 billion a day. Europe, $4.8 billion a day. United States, 2.8. Latin America, 953 million a day. We have people joining our group all over the world, including Africa. We were just on with some people in Africa yesterday. And they're growing a business from the comfort of their own homes in Africa. Guess what? iBoomerang is open in 188 countries. You can build a business anywhere in the world through social media. You don't have to leave your house to build this thing. You don't have to wait for the company to open up a different market because the products are so difficult to get across the borders and to move into the market. It costs millions of dollars to get a product into a market because the ingredients, and you have to tweak the ingredients to get it there. Then you have to have the inventory and all the things associated with penetrating a new market in this industry. Holton Bugs vision. We don't have a product. Our product Uber doesn't have a product. Neither does iBoomerang. Okay. We are monetizing savings, and it starts with travel. Now, here's something that's really important to understand about the travel space. Remember earlier I mentioned there's 3 ways to book travel. There is retail. That's calling the Hilton or whatever, direct in booking your travel. The second way is the public aggregator sites. And let me touch on that. I did not know this, and I was disappointed to find that all of the public aggregator sites, all of them, whether it's rentalcars.com, Kayak, OpenTable, Priceline, Agoda, Expedia, Travelocity, they're all owned by two companies, Booking Holdings and Expedia Group. So all of those different websites that we're opening up, they're all the same company. They're taking advantage of our most valuable resource, in my opinion. That's our time, because I've been guilty of spending 2 hours, lack of knowledge, spending 2 hours thinking I'm going to save more than a few dollars. I'm just chasing my tail. And the reason that they have a vested interest in us chasing our tail for so long is because they collect our data. What do they do with it? They sell it. That doesn't happen in the third way to book travel. It doesn't happen with iBoomerang. And I'll touch more on that in a moment, but just know this. All those sites are just owned by two companies. And so literally we're chasing our tails trying to save a few dollars and opening up 15 different browsers and spending hours trying to do so. The same retail prices and markup, they have parity. We pass with iBoomerang, with I Go For Less, our booking platform, we pass the savings on to the consumer, okay? So let me give you a couple of examples. The third way to book travel is the membership only. Usually to have access to membership travel like this, it costs anywhere from $4,000 to $30,000. I've seen like Sears has sold these type of travel platforms. I've seen, different travel companies sell them. I've seen Sam's Club or Costco has these travel. They charge thousands of dollars for what our iGo platform does. And that passes the savings onto the consumer. That's the third way to book travel, which is the membership. You have to have a login. You have to have a membership. You have to have it's private. The data is not sold. We can't advertise publicly like the aggregator sites can. These are rules within the space. And they spend billions of dollars doing so. But what we can do is offer pricing that they cannot offer. It should be illegal for these companies, for these public sites, like Expedia, to do a commercial and say that they offer the lowest pricing. No, they offer the lowest pricing within the public booking space. But here, for the first time ever, we're bringing this to the public on a very, very large scale with our iGo platform. So here's a couple of examples. Here's some actual screenshots. Expedia, 4.5-star hotel in New York City on the left-hand side. On Expedia, it's $339 per night. On our iGo platform, it's $178 a night. It's $161 per night. Same room, same everything. Same, it's not, you don't get stuck in the room next to the laundromat or anything like that. It's the same everything. No blackout dates except price that you pay. And these are out the door prices. Now, here's an actual screenshot right below it of an actual booking. Dear Ruben, we blacked out the names to protect their privacy, but we have thousands of these. Every single time somebody uses our iGo platform to book their travel, it works. It saves them money. And we have a testimonial. We don't have to hope that the product works. We know it works every time that they use it. The total cost of the reservation was $450. That was earned Ruben 510 reward credits. Reward credits are collected and accumulated anytime you do anything in the iGo platform. And you can use them to purchase future travel, whether it be flights or restaurant savings or all kinds of things that our platform, world tours, excursions, and on and on and on. And so this person saved $1,341.12 and accumulated 510 reward credits for future anything. Think about that. Same everything, but saved $1,300. Look at the next one in the middle. Paris, France, 4-star hotel, $440 per night, $130 a night on our platform, $310 savings per night. Same everything. Normally the person would book this on Travelocity and think they're getting the best price because they were until now. That was the best price available. When people got in a taxi cab or yellow cab, I thought that they were getting the best option, and they were until Uber came around and offered a more convenient and less expensive way to do the same thing. Okay? That's what we're doing, but we're starting with travel. We're focusing on travel. To begin, that's our door opener. Everybody does it. Check it out. Dear Ian, the total cost of the reservation, $624. The reservation reward credits earned him almost 700 reward credits. The savings was $316. Unless you just like throwing money out the window, go take yellow cab or taxi. If you like throwing money out the window, people do that, but they don't like to do that. So they use Uber or Lyft or another option. You'll understand in a minute. Here's actual savings of look at top right, New York. This is a top rental car company. On rentalcars.com, this car was $392. On our platform, the same car, same everything, same size gas tank, same full tank of gas, same everything, $221, $171 savings. Look at Mr. Bug's reservation when he was testing our product, $1,589 he saved booking this on this reservation that he made. He earned 1,687 reward credits and saved almost $1,600. That was more than the cost of the reservation. It's not only hotels and rental cars. We have shore excursions, theme parks, outdoor activities, shopping rewards, golf savings, wine club, gift cards. You can buy gift cards with your reward credits at Amazon or Best Buy or anywhere. Worldwide tours, emergency travel services. It might be a good time to emphasize that one. Some people are using that. We have a 110% of the difference price match guarantee. If somebody finds it cheaper anywhere, we'll price online. We price match it and give them 110% of the difference. It's that simple. We have a product that works 100% of the time. Homes, that's Airbnb type homes. We have hundreds of thousands of homes. In fact, we stayed in one when we went to Houston recently. You can book your flights through here and earn reward credits when you do it. We don't guarantee prices on flights, but nobody does. Nobody in the world does. Why? The airlines don't give discounts to anybody. Rental cars, cruises, weeks. Weeks are unbelievable savings. You have to look at the weeks, okay? Timeshares, you can buy and sell your timeshares. You can, in the marketplace, you can bid on properties. iGo matches perfectly with rideshare as well. Look at that emblem. Look at that logo. Thanks, Mark Cathcart. Vibe rides. Okay. We'll touch on that here in just a moment. Here's an example of how our platform works. Look on the far left. As an ambassador, let's say I was searching for a trip to Cancun. This particular trip, it would cost the public price on the public aggregator sites would be $1,046. Now, my price would be $424 less. A total with tax would be $621. That's $424 off the public price. Now, if let's say that I wanted to give my neighbor was going to travel. Who travels? Everybody. Okay. I would throw them a boomerang. This is how we gather customers. An Uber approach, free to get, free to keep. What if you could go back in time and Uber said, hey, go give Uberangs to everybody. Give these Uberangs to everybody. It makes transportation more convenient, less expensive. Everybody you give it to, they're connected to you for life. It's free to give it to them. There's no catch. Give it to as many people as you want. We're guaranteeing that they'll save money when they choose Uber over Yellow Cab or Taxi. We're going to measure what they saved had they had taken Yellow Cab or Taxi. That's the public aggregator sites. What they would pay if they booked it on Travelocity or any place else. And what they did pay using Uber and what they did pay using iGo in our case. To book the same thing they're already doing. We're going to measure what they saved. And we're going to give them 50% of what you would save if you took that same ride or if you booked that same trip. It's free for them. They see 50% of the savings. They're happy. Win-win. You're happy because we're going to give you 50% of every single dollar that they save. If they save $1, you make 50 cents. If they save $100, you make $100. You make $50. We're monetizing the savings. That's simple. It's brilliant. Why didn't I think of that? One of those things, right? Because I'm not Mr. Holton Bugs. Okay, look at this little here. But let me go back. If you gave a boomerang, here, Mr. Customer, here, Mrs. Customer, free. Here's your free booking engine for life. You can book all your travel on it. There's no catch. Give it to them for free. They would book that same trip and they would see half the discount that you saw. So instead of $424 savings, they see $212. They're happy. Look at this little diagram here with little boomerangs. It says you're happy because you just gave your friend free boomerang. They never pay for it. They can book their travel for life through it. And they just booked that same trip to Cancun, to Cancun. They saved $212. Now, they don't know that they could have saved $424 if they were an ambassador, but that's okay. They're happy. You're happy. You see the wholesale price. They see 50% of the wholesale price versus, retail versus or public sites versus the wholesale price, which is $212 in this case. That boomerangs back to you. They're happy. That's why they're smiling. It boomerangs back to you. It flies back to you in the form of cash in your pocket. Okay. Their savings you were rewarded by seeing half of what they saved in cash. You just earned $106 travel savings bonus. And $74 was poured into the compensation plan, which is 35% of the savings that was realized by your customer. So the only thing network marketing about this is if you decide you want to build a team, in addition to gathering free customers and the unlimited number of customers you can go gather, the only thing is once they're off the market for life. And we already have over 500,000 that are off the market. They're connected to somebody else. But 35% of all their customer savings you can earn from the overrides on the savings of your team's customers. If you want to build a team too, why wouldn't you? But you don't have to. And that's what's so compelling about what we're doing here. Okay. So let me give you a quick example of a customer acquisition model. Let's just say you just gave 10 boomerangs away. How hard is that? Well, that's about how hard it is. I just gathered 10 customers, maybe do a post. Hey, I have 10 of these boomerangs to give away. Here's what they do. They give free, they give up to 35% on all your travel. There's no catch. The only catch is you have to send me a selfie when you take your first trip and you save money. Okay. That's the only catch. But you get 10. We estimate that a customer will save about $600. A customer will use a boomerang, once a year, travel once a year, or whatever. Will save about $600 over what they could find anywhere else. They're going to be happy about that. They'll spend 2 hours to save $5 until, on aggregator sites, and not any longer. They don't have to waste all that time. But let's just say they save $600 and you earn 50% of that. So 10 customers would save a total of about $6,000. That would boomerang into a travel savings bonus of $3,000 for you. What if you got 100 customers? What about 1,000? There's people on my team that already have just one person that has over 1,500 customers already. There's people that haven't even sponsored one single ambassador, haven't recruited one person that have hundreds of customers. For the first time in the history of this industry, you can go out and build a business without becoming a great recruiter. That's iBoomerang, okay? That's the brilliance of Mr. Bugs. What if you want to build a team in addition to gathering customers? Let's say you just build a team of 50. My wife and I built a team of over 5,000 people already, but let's just say you build a team of 50. That doesn't mean you have to go out and get 50. Maybe you personally recruit 5. I mean, anybody who looks at this will want to do it. In 14 years in a previous company, we enrolled 43 ambassadors personally. And we ended up having over 100,000. In 12 months, we've enrolled 51 here. Every time we talk about this, people want to be part of it. This isn't network marketing as you know it. This isn't your mother and father's. This isn't your grandparents' network marketing company. This is iBoomerang. This is a game changer. This is a business proposition. But let's just say you ended up having 50, you brought in a few by accident. Just open your mouth and you're going to build a team, okay? But just on their customer savings, if they all went and got 10 customers each, that's that would be 500 more customers. And if you take a percentage of their 35%, just put that in, and you boomerang that back around to you, the average payout at 10% override is $58. That's an average monthly income of an additional $1,700.26. That's an average annual income of $20,712. That's passive residual income. What would you have to do to go out and earn an extra $21,000? How much would you have to have invested to earn $21,000 a year? In addition to your customer savings, in addition to, my wife just came in and made a funny face through the window. Sorry. Okay. So, this is like a hot knife through butter. Now, one of the fastest growing, think about this for a moment. You earn from all your personal customer savings, 50%. You earn an override on 35% of all your team's customer savings. And you're going to see another way to earn here in just a moment. But the fastest growing segment of the travel industry is the rideshare industry, right? Check out that car. It's a Tesla. It's not just a mock-up. That's actually a real car that Holton, Mr. Bugs has out on the road with the Vibe Ride. Well, we have our second vertical to our ecosystem, okay? Imagine if Uber gave you that opportunity that we mentioned earlier, okay, that said, hey, go out and acquire all these customers, and you can earn We're going to measure what they would have saved if they take yellow cab or taxi, and you'll earn 50% every time they save when they use this better option that's more convenient and less expensive. We call Uber. But then we're going to bring other things to our ecosystem like Uber Eats, because who eats? Everybody. So those same customers that you locked in, that you brought savings to, you brought value to their life for free, the Prib is going to bring to them Uber Eats. And every time they eat with Uber Eats, you're going to be paid. That's our second vertical. And there will be many, many more verticals that come through the Prib into our ecosystem. What is the ecosystem? What are these verticals? They're different technologies. Our second one is Vibe Ride. So the front door of the Prib is iGo. It's travel. You don't have to learn travel. You already know it. Rideshare. You don't need to bring rideshare to them. The Prib will do it for you. It does the work. It will bring to them Vibe Ride. Timing is right for rideshare industry. 98 million rideshare passengers, 5.3 million drivers, and growing. The rideshare industry size is $24.4 billion. Okay. Right. Transportation is $1.2 trillion. The entire network marketing industry is $183 billion at its peak in 2015. Transportation alone is bigger than the entire network marketing industry. Holton doesn't compare this company to the biggest network marketing companies. He compares it to the biggest companies in the world, Amazon, Uber. See, that's where we're going right now with this. So we can't compare this to anything else. You just can't. He has a strategy in place to take this company from zero to $10 billion a year in 5 to 10 years. How big of a piece of that do you want? He has a strategy in place to take this company to 50 billion. Again, I wouldn't bet against Mr. Holton Buggs. He's the biggest thinker I've ever met. And he's the hardest worker you'll ever meet. And he knows this industry better than anyone in the world. And he brings the best track record to the table. Imagine a car going by, and every single time it went by, you wonder, hey, I wonder if that's in my right leg or my left leg. See, we have 3 ways to earn. Earn while you drive. You can be a driver for Vibe Ride if you want. And drivers have advantages over Uber and Lyft drivers. We're pretty smart about this. You can earn when others drive. You don't even have to drive. I'm not driving. My son may, just to have, a vehicle to build the business with while he's doing this, but he earns when others, I'll earn when he drives. I'll earn when anyone drives that I introduce this to. You earn when your customers ride. The same customers that you bring on for iGo, for travel, that you, or just bring on for this initially. Every time they take a ride, you earn money. Let me quickly show you how this works. I only have a few more minutes. Look at this. We're going to use $100 as the fare breakdown for simplicity. I know the average ride is not $100.